Okay. So, welcome to this week's mindfulness meditation, mindful compassion meditation. And we're working through the senses. So, last week we explored sound, and this week we're going to be exploring sight. So, setting yourself up in a posture that's comfortable for you, as comfortable as possible, bearing in mind that it isn't natural for the body to be sitting still. So, discomfort will arise, and we're exploring through these techniques ways of being with our experiences when we are struggling, with the idea being that by being present to the sensations within our body that are just uncomfortable, exploring some mindful present moment awareness techniques to be with them, then these are applicable to the other areas in our life where we're experiencing difficulty, say the emotional, the mental, the challenges, the stress that we experience, that we have this sanctuary that we can find within these bodies that have been with us throughout our journeys and go fairly ignored for the most part. So settling in and having a sense of taking your seat. So to begin with, an invitation to close your eyes and scan your body in your way, checking in with yourself, adjusting your posture as necessary. You are welcome to physically pull your shoulders down, massage your jaw, check it's not clenched, smooth that brow that can be held in concentration and tightness, that we brace our body in ways that we don't notice. I quite like lifting my head, gently tucking it. And then an invitation to take 3 deep in-breaths and 3 long exhalations, extending them to longer than the in-breath if you can. This is a very efficient way of activating our parasympathetic nervous system, switching ourselves into the rest and digest mode, allowing our bodies to recover, repair, and heal. Letting our systems know that we're not in danger, don't need to run away. And returning your breath to its natural rhythm. And finding a point within the breath that's most vivid for you today, or a point within the body that you can settle each time your mind has wandered, that you can return your attention here over and over. So we explore this mindful, compassionate, present moment awareness. Once you've found that point, noting it, and then returning your awareness. Simple inflow and outflow of the breath, allowing the breath to breathe itself. How it flows in and it flows out. Allowing and letting be. allowing and letting be. Like that leaf on the surface of water. The ebb and the flow. Drifting in, drifting out, drifting around. And now an invitation to narrow your awareness to the area of your eyes, exploring where that begins, where that ends for you, and what you can notice here, what's most vivid. The felt and physical sensations around your eye sockets. Sight is our overwhelmingly dominant sense. What can you physically feel of your eyeballs and your eye sockets and your eyelids and your eyelashes? Did the eyeballs stay still? Can you notice the muscles, tiny muscles working? Even with your eyes closed, you notice the blinking of your eyelids. Being curious and interested in your experience of this part of your body. And an invitation to bring your awareness to what you see. The colours. What colours can you see here behind your eyelids? Taking a moment to check that there's no tension or tightening, sort of squinting that we can fall into when we're concentrating. Letting that go if you can. Can you notice behind your eyelids? Being present without judgment, noticing when your mind wanders, and returning your attention over and over again. As your thinking, analysing mind tries to make sense of the experience, and as best we can, we're simply being and observing, being those impartial witnesses to ourselves, practicing, practicing, practicing. Mindfulness offers us a fresh look, broader perspective, being interested and curious in your experience of yourself, what you see behind your eyelids. Moving away from our habitual tendencies to judge and narrow what we see. We're widening that lens. the ebb and flow. And now an invitation to open your eyes and focus on a point in front of you. Finding maybe a speck, dust, a particular grain of wood. Really narrowing your awareness onto this one specific spot. Again, perhaps noticing if you've scrunched up your eyes and your forehead, letting go of that tension. Observing this tiny spot you've found. What do the eyeballs do? The eyelids. Checking in with the breath. Checking in with your posture. The mind will wander. And each time it does, that invitation to congratulate yourself. And returning your attention to the breath, that part of the body, or this speck that you're focusing on. The textures and colours, the sensations, the movement of your eyes. This information is being fed into your brain via light waves and frequencies that go beyond my abilities to describe. This incredible ability for us to interpret, and as best we can, being with our direct experience of observing this one particular spot. And now an invitation to bring your awareness to everything around the spot. So widening the lens of your focus to, without moving, what you notice around the spot. So these objects and colours that are in the background, blurry perhaps. Do they seem to move? Notice if your eyes wander away from where they were gazing, distracted. Your body's ability to remain focused on one particular spot, yet bringing its attention to the background, widening the lens of our awareness, expanded. And now an invitation to very, very slowly lift your gaze and gently turn your head to the left, like really slowly, pivoting around. And seeing what the eyes do, what they take in, what they find interesting, what they're not bothered by. And going as far as is within your range, noticing what the eyes do. They dart around. Is it as smooth? Do they want to stay in one place? Being playful in your experience of seeing. Perhaps noticing sensations in your forehead or your shoulders, your neck. And then in one smooth move, coming back to center. And then repeating the movement slowly to the left. Checking that the eyes don't tense up, clench. Observe the felt and physical sensations of this very slow movement. Being with sight. Each time the mind wanders off into the stories. Should have tidied that. That needs dusting. Why have I kept that? And as best you can, bringing your awareness to your felt, direct experience of observing what it is to see. Then returning your head to a natural, neutral position. You can keep your eyes open or you can close them. Taking a moment to rest in the felt sensation of that experience. What can you notice behind your eyelids? What do you notice in your eye area? Your body? Right, perhaps feel physically dizzy. We focus on our vision in this very intense way. Movements that ordinarily we wouldn't notice. We can observe a physical reaction to what is that for you? Where is it? The shapes and colours and textures and movements. The immense amount of information that your eyes are able to take in. To find a friend in a crowded room. Find a car in the car park. and the visual information that it's able to put to the side to allow you to function. For us not to be so overwhelmed with faces and information. That our eyes and brains work together. You've taken this time to observe the mechanics, to marvel, observing the inflow and outflow of visual information and stimulus. That our eyes feed to our brain, that it then files and sorts. It's important or unimportant. What can you notice in your eye area now? What's happened to the breath? Now an invitation to narrow your awareness back to the breath. Beginning with the in-breath. You can count, if that's helpful, from 1 up to 10 and then back to 1 again. Now an invitation to turn your awareness towards your out breath. Again, counting if that's helpful. And now an invitation to observe the pauses between the in-breath and the out-breath, where you're neither breathing in or not breathing out. And now an invitation to bring your awareness to the full flow of your breath as you breathe in and pause and breathe out and pause. And then letting go of paying particular attention to the breath and expanding your awareness to include all of your body, narrowing to the eyes, what you're noticing here now. Expanding back out to the rest of the body. And close the practice with a poem by Pablo Neruda called Horses. From the window I saw the horses. I was in Berlin in winter. The light was without light, the sky skyless, the air white like a moistened loaf. From my window I could see a deserted arena, a circle bitten out of the teeth of winter. And all at once, led out by a single man, 10 horses were stepping into the snow. Scarcely had they rippled into existence like flame, than they filled the whole world of my eyes, empty till now, faultless, flaming. They stepped like 10 gods on broad, clean hoofs, their manes recalling a dream of salt spray. Their rumps were globes, were oranges. Their colour was amber and honey, was on fire. Their necks were towers carved from the stone of pride, and in their furious eyes, sheer energy showed itself a prisoner inside them. And there, in the silence, at the midpoint of the day, in a dirty, disgruntled winter, the horse's intense presence was blood, was rhythm, was the beckoning light of all being. I saw, and seeing, I came to life. There was the unwitting fountain, the dance of gold, the sky, the fire that sprang to life in beautiful things. I have obliterated that gloomy Berlin winter. I shall not forget the light from those horses. So moving and stretching and what your body's calling. I'm going to move into taking tea together. And I have some rosemary today. I'm just going to do a very simple break the branch, drop it in. Really want you to experience what you're seeing within this part of the practice, whether you're observing the tea being made or drinking your own. Light is being reflected off these objects, being received by our optical nerves, going into our brains, being translated in whatever miraculous way it does that. To give us information. The colours, the textures that we see, the way that the eyeballs scan around and collect all this information. Leaving behind the judgments that maybe you don't see as well as you'd like. Perhaps holding in mind that Monet's greatest works were done when he was losing his sight. His paintings showed what he saw, and beautiful that is. Simply observing. We use this idea of seeing to mean much more than physically seeing. Seeing is believing. Out of sight, out of mind. I'll see to that. We don't see eye to eye. We'll see what we can do. What do you see? What don't you see? So if we bring this part of the practice to a close, I'm going to open up the live space for a group discussion. Those of you practicing in your own time, the invitation is to pause and take a moment to reflect on your direct and physical experience of that practice. Anything that surprised you, anything that delighted you, anything that was a challenge, and as best you can, that you're direct, what you noticed. Moving into a brief compassion practice, closing your eyes, placing one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. May I be well. May I be at ease. May I be kind to myself and others. And then expanding your awareness to this group, those live, those accessing the recording later. May we all be well. May we all be at ease. And may we all be kind to ourselves and each other. And then expanding your awareness as far, including whoever you want, your village, your house, partners, children, country, continent, the universe. Go as far as you want today. May we all be well. May we all be at ease. And may we all be kind to ourselves and each other. May we all be well. May we all be at ease. And may we all be kind to ourselves and each other. And as best you can, taking this sense of connection and awareness into whatever you have left to do with your day. Thank you so much for joining me. I will see you soon.